Hi, it's Martha. I have some books I want to share with you today. And the first three are picture books about taking a walk out in nature or taking a hike. And that's something that's fantastic to do on a good weather day or even on a slightly rainy, foggy day. But of course, it's not a good idea on a smoky day, which is what we're having this week. But we can look forward to when the air is clear again. And the first book I want to show you is called Hiking Day. Hiking Day by Anne Rockwell, and the pictures are by Lizzy Rockwell. And this story is about a little girl who's going to take her very first hike with her family. And they prepare for the hike. They have a fantastic map and they look at the area that they're going to walk in and they figure out their trail, how they're going to go, and they get all prepared. The illustrations are really bright and nice, and they see animals and birds along the way. They hear noises. It's a whole day in nature. Really nice. You can see that the story is pretty simple, but I think it's a very nice introduction to taking a hike out in nature. The second book is called My Mindful Walk with Grandma. My Mindful Walk with Grandma. And the story is by Sheri Mabry, and the illustrations are by Wazza Pink. And this is the story of a little girl who's very excited about something she's going to do with Grandma. Like every year, they go to a certain lake, and when they get to the lake, they find out if the loons, a certain kind of bird, have returned to the lake or not. And this year, the little girl has planned a surprise for her grandma. And so all she can think about is getting to the lake, getting to the lake. And along the way, there are other things to see and listen to and experience. And Grandma gently reminds her that to focus so much on where they're going means that she won't enjoy the journey to get there. So that's a very nice lesson, to sort of pay attention to everything along the way, not just where you're headed, but where you are right that very minute and what you're seeing around you. So I really like that. And here on the back it says, "Are we almost there?" I ask. Yes, but if we keep looking for there, we will miss what is right here, Grandma says. And that's kind of a nice lesson for all of us. My Mindful Walk with Grandma. The third one I think is my favorite. This one is Up the Mountain Path by Marianne Dubuc. And Marianne Dubuc did both the story and the illustrations. And you can see they're kind of gentle and pretty. I really like them. And this is the story of an old lady named Mrs. Badger. And she lives in a little house at the foot of a little mountain called Sugarloaf Peak. And every Sunday she takes the path from her garden up to the top of the peak, the top of Sugarloaf Peak. And along the way, she sees friends and different things happen. She has experiences and she stops for a little snack, and she just really enjoys her Sunday hike. And one Sunday, while she's eating her snack along the way, she feels that somebody might be watching her, and looking around, she sees that it's a little cat. And she invites the little cat, whose name is Lulu, to join her, first for her snack and then for the walk. And Lulu becomes her companion on these Sunday hikes, and they really become friends. And they see a lot of things along the way. Lulu has lots of questions, and Mrs. Badger answers them, and they both really enjoy their friendship. They sing songs, they learn things. It's very nice. And I think this might be my favorite part. On the way, choices have to be made. I don't know if you can see that. They come to a little fork in the road. "Which path do we take?" says Lulu. "Which one do you like best?" says Mrs. Badger. And Mrs. Badger knows that life is made up of decisions and that you have to listen to your heart. I really like that. So the story of a friendship and of learning about nature and of enjoying nature together. Lovely. The next two books are kind of serious, both about places that have had big troubles, where people have really had hardships and had to live with tragedy and sadness. And the first one is the true story of a man in a country called Syria, in a city called Aleppo. And Syria has been at war for a long time, and the people have really suffered. And the city of Aleppo has had bombs falling on it, and a lot of people have left the city. They've fled the city to go to someplace more safe. And this man, the man that the story is about, is an ambulance driver. That's his job. And he decides, as everyone is leaving the city, that he'll stay and see if he can help people that are still there. And he loves his city. He doesn't want to leave it. And he helps some people. He finds people that need help. But then he discovers that the cats of Aleppo have been abandoned and really are everywhere in the abandoned, burned out buildings and in wrecked cars. And he finds all these cats, and he realizes that that's another way he can help, another place that he can be of service. And so he starts to bring water and food to the cats every day. And first there are just about a dozen cats, but then there are 50 or 100 cats, and he can't do it alone anymore. And he gets some friends to help him, and he asks for some volunteers, and he even gets some donations. His story gets printed on the internet, and some people start sending him money and sending him cat food. Everybody wants to help the cats of Aleppo. So in the end, he collects enough money that he's able to build a cat sanctuary. And this, again, is a true story. The cat man of Aleppo is a real person. And it raised people's spirits to hear that something good was happening in this city that had had so much tragedy. And they were glad that the cats were being taken care of. And so the sanctuary, the cat sanctuary, gave people some hope and happiness for the future. The cat man of Aleppo. So partly a sad story, but also a story with a wonderful good deed, a generous heart of this man, and the generous people that also help him. So kind of a neat story. All right, and the last one I have today is about a family in Germany, the Wetzel family. It's called Flight for Freedom, the Wetzel family's daring escape from East Germany. And after World War II, between World War II and about 1989, 1990, the country of Germany was divided in half, and one half was under one government and the other half was a different government. And East Germany was under a very severe, strict government, and most people were very unhappy under that government, and many people, many families tried to escape from East Germany and come over to West Germany. And there was a big wall. The Berlin Wall was a wall that divided East Germany from West Germany, and it had armed guards, it had soldiers and tanks guarding the wall. So really it was very, very difficult to leave East Germany and go to a free country in the West. And this is about a family who have a really unique idea. They decide that they will build their own hot air balloon, and they find all these pieces of fabric, and secretly they make a balloon, and the whole family can fit in it, and it's going to fly, it's going to float up, and it's going to fly over the wall, over the Berlin Wall, over to freedom on the other side. So very exciting. They almost get caught several times and, have to try it more than once, and a really interesting piece of history. East Germany is not under that government anymore, but this was a very big part of people's lives for many years. So I recommend Flight for Freedom the Wetzel family's daring escape from East Germany. That's what I've got for you today. Those are my books, and I hope you'll check them out. They're all at the library, and we can give them to you in curbside service. I hope you're all doing fine, and I wish I could see you. Okay, bye. See you later, or see you soon.